to the point of about 7 feet of water in the Davy Lopes basement.
Oh,
It went. It submerged the panels, electrical panels. Yeah, minutes from last session. No minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the Special Commission on Veterans Affairs for February 11th, 2025. It's approximately about 4:30. Madam Clerk, please call the roll call.
Chair Pachado,
Present.
Deputy Director Anthony Alves,
Present.
Officer Joseph Iannucci,
Present.
Kasim Yan,
Present.
and vacant spots. We got 4 present and none absent. We have a quorum.
We do have a quorum. Welcome, everyone. Everyone had the opportunity to visit the agenda for today, as we have at least 5 items to discuss, and some of it already this will be like part 2 of the discussion, as we discussed it in January. You know, there a couple of members were not here. So with that said, the first item on the agenda is to elect a vice chair, and at this time, I would like to entertain a motion to select a motion to a nomination for vice chair Joseph Iannucci.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? All those in favor?
Aye.
And you voting for yourself?
Aye.
There you go. So the motions have it. No, congratulations.
Thank you.
Being the vice chair. It's great to have you as a vice chair, and look forward to continue working with all of you. The second item on the agenda is the update and discussion relative to the veteran benefits in the city of Providence. In particular, when it comes down to the House bill that now has a number, and it was introduced. And it was we have Aaron to speak about it, and if you may.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, members of the commission. So as we discussed previously, we had worked with the administration on, a draft bill that would allow for the city to move via resolution or ordinance on setting their own, exemption level. So we did get the bill in, and I'm happy to report that even from the last meeting where I was not here, Tricia was here, and you guys spoke on an amendment that she wanted to make to that draft, and we did get that in there. And I think the legislation was shared as an exhibit. I believe you all may have a copy of it, but I'll just read this. So, yeah, the amendment that was introduced is the same as what was reviewed in this last meeting, but it has that addition.
Is this the one you're talking?
Yes, yeah, that's the bill as it appears currently.
Is this what we're entering in as an exhibit?
Yes,
You need
please.
to make a motion to enter this as an exhibit.
Entertain a motion to enter
Oh, I already got one.
the handout, which is reference to the State of Rhode Island, in the General Assembly, bill number H 5307.
Yes.
There's a motion by Commissioner Alves. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a second. Motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries. Exhibit is before you. You may speak, Aaron.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. But as I understand it, Director Yarn, there was a comment that she made on the language to be added, and I wanted to let you know that we did get it in. In the language that was added was persons receiving, federal disability retirement, and that was added to section A, subsection 4 in that list. So we got it in to all of your specifications. So I think the next steps will be, we are in touch, like what we do on the council staff, we do track the legislation as it moves. We are working with the mayor's office on this. So when it is scheduled for a hearing, we'll be in touch with the committee to let you all know. We can draft testimony that you all can agree to, and we can facilitate you all going up to the State House. But as I understand it now, the mayor does plan to testify on this, and anybody who would like to join the mayor, we'd like to set that up to, give it a lot of energy. And then secondly, As we all know, the Senate is sometimes a little slower than the House in getting some things in. But they do have the legislation, and I'm told by the mayor's office that they have partnered with Senator Chacon, and that will be introduced, and he will be the sponsor. And I understand that he's very supportive of it. So yeah, at this point, we're going to track the bills and we're going to make sure nothing sneaks up on you all, and you all have the opportunity to advocate. And I feel very confident that this will pass. And I will also say that, obviously the General Assembly session ends, usually around the end of like June. They certainly love to finish before the 4th of July. And what I can say is that given that, this is moving and it's likely to pass, I'll work with the law department and we can actually have the ordinance ready so that as soon as it does pass, we can get the ball rolling there as well.
Yeah.
So that's where we are now, and happy to keep you all abreast as it moves.
Thank you for that update.
Of course.
Any questions, comments regarding presentation? I do also want to add to that is that we're going to create a resolution
Yes.
in
Yeah.
support. I know you mentioned it.
Yes, yeah,
But,
yeah, exactly. I apologize.
No, no.
Yeah, for all for the most part, when it comes to legislation that the mayor's office supports and the council does as well, it makes it a lot easier for us to have a resolution that we send up there to show that the council supports it as well. So on this upcoming council agenda, we will have a resolution to, show the council's support of the bill. And I can share that resolution with you all as well.
And that would be in addition to the conversation having with the mayor once it gets passed. But prior to that, I'll be speaking with the mayor in reference to veterans issues. I know that the director has mentioned it, but also it is also the mayor's priority and to try to see how we can continue to support the veterans affairs and veterans in the city of Providence. So we'll continue to have that conversation. All right.
And what was the dollar amount associated with this change?
Well, the thing is, it just is blanket, and it allows us to decide what that dollar amount would be. So what I'll do is, when we do have the draft ordinance, we'll have it so that we just plug in the number that, like, the councilman and the administration agree with, because it comes down to what they can ultimately afford, or what they feel as if, we would be losing the revenue. But I'm sure we can come up with a number that'll make everybody happy.
Right. This is just to enable us to come up with that number.
Mhm.
Before we agree, obviously, we're gonna have a conversation with the mayor, and also he's going to be putting his budget forward. Right now, it's tentative for April.
15th, I think I said 16th in the text, but then it's 15th.
Yeah.
April 15th.
He's going to be presenting his budget, and hopefully by then, we would have some form of idea, preliminary, because as Aaron was indicated, and me having experience up at the State House, some certain legislation doesn't pass so quick unless there's a urgency and an emergency, and I don't see that this is gonna be one of those moving forward. But what we could do is continue to have the discussion in terms of the dollar amount. And as I mentioned before, and is no news to you, that the city is facing quite a bit of a challenge in terms of revenues coming up, and particularly when we have to provide $15 million to the Providence public school system. And so those discussion about what the amount is going to be, but I can guarantee you at least that it will be more than $100 and what is it? $53, I think it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think that's about right. It'll certainly be much more than that.
Yeah.
Something that we'll be proud to speak loudly of.
Right.
Right.
And we could, we can discuss a little bit more of how that ordinance is going to look like, and how it could keep up with the times. So thank you, Aaron,
Of
and
course.
thank you for Tricia for the work that she's done in the research on that. All right.
Of course. Absolutely.
Moving on to item number 3, last time I know that there were some minutes or some notes that were taken. What we'll do is, we'll have those minutes for the next meeting. But one of the discussion that we had was in terms of providing some planning for a Flag Day ceremony retirement, as Commissioner House had mentioned. And so for discussion right now is to try to see how we can project and put a date So that way we can all start planning for that time. I know that June 14th, Flag Day is on a Saturday. And that's usually a challenging time, but that's for something for us to discuss whether to do something that Saturday or the Friday before or even that Thursday. So, open it up for discussion.
I know, the mayor typically has, high school graduations that he attends that week.
Mhm.
So, this past year, I ended up, we pushed it to the Friday prior to Flag Day, just because of his whole agenda with, graduations. So that's the kind of the biggest thing I see as far as the mayor's concerned. But I mean, other than that, we can schedule accordingly.
Yeah, so retirement of flags, there's no particular date designated federally or state. The Flag Day is a national day of the flag. So the retirement of flag in that ceremony, it doesn't have to be that same time. So it's just a
Yeah,
matter
I mean,
of selecting a date.
Flag Day is dedicated to celebrating and celebrating the flag, and typically, I mean, you can retire a flag at any point throughout the year, but Flag Day is a day where most people save their flags for retirement.
Any other conversation, any other comments? Yeah. So, so with that said, are you suggesting that the day before, which is the Friday, which is the 13th of June, should be that day of retirement of the flag
I mean, it sounds good to me.
for preliminary?
Yeah.
To do it. Usually graduations are held pretty much leading up to even Thursdays. I'm not sure at times on Fridays, but we can select a date now and just look at check in with the Providence school department and see when those graduations will take place. Then we'll come back. But preliminary, what we'll do is select it for the Friday, the 13th. Sounds good. And the usual time was, what was that time that year?
I believe we started
Four?
around 4 o'clock because we were we included Scouting America in this ceremony.
Yeah.
So the idea was to get them through school and have them show up afterwards.
And like I indicated that hopefully, and the goal is also to include members from the ROTC program here in the city of Providence. So we'll reach out to them.
So along with that, I found out the hard way. So if we were to seek help through the National Guard.
Yeah.
For chaplain or bugle services, that request needs to be in, I believe it's
Months before,
months before for scheduling purposes.
sure. So is that like a couple of months? I mean, once we lock in the date, then we can put the request in.
Yes,
That's good.
sooner than later.
And that's in the form of DD form 2536. That's the form that you submit
Yeah,
to get the
so
request.
2536.
2536, DD form 2536.
I have it on my computer.
And that's through the
National Guard.
National
National
Guard.
Guard.
Request for services.
Any other discussion on the matter?
The only other item is looping in public safety. So it would be good to have the fire department on site. They helped in last year's flag retirement ceremony, just in case things got out of hand for some reason. They were there on site to help with the fire. And then we also had the police and fire mixed together for flag detail. So we can loop them in also.
And we'll still have it there at the public safety.
We could, I mean, we could change locations.
Seemed appropriate and
Yeah,
and
and
nice
it
there.
worked out well. We
It
did it
worked
right in
out
the
well.
front circle.
Yeah,
The only thing that would be an issue is which way the wind is blowing that day.
well, we can predict and
Hmm.
manage the wind, so. All right, excellent. For now, we'll keep it there at the, if it's available.
Mm.
We'll look at it once we, reach out to the public school system,
Mhm.
find out when the graduations are, or to lock in the 13th.
Mhm.
Once we do that, then we'll secure and speak to the mayor's office.
Mhm.
Public safety. Facilities outside. Lock in also, the National Guard. And reaching out also to other partners such as the ROTC and the
Scouting America.
Scouts of America,
Yeah, they just changed their name this past week to Scouting America.
Scouting America, okay, right.
Is there an opportunity to do a essay contest for the local schools?
I think that'd be
We
amazing.
have 4 months to set that up. Our schools that want to participate.
Context. You're asking if there's an opportunity?
Right.
I'm sure there is.
So if
Would you
you're
like to make
engaging
that
the schools, then that could be
Yeah.
what the flag means to me. What does
Civic-
Flag Day mean to me?
Civic participation.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes,
We can help to.
let's pursue
facilitate
that. That's one way of engaging even
And it bridges
some ideas.
it bridges the generational gap.
Yes. And engaging the ROTC and others that are in the public safety realm of our cities. Great idea. Let's move forward on that. Any other discussion? Excellent. Just discussion relative to the timeline and planning of Veterans Day Parade in the city of Providence. No, we put it back on the agenda. This is an ongoing conversation. I haven't had specifically the conversation with the mayor and the mayor staff in terms of when that could be. I wanted us to think a little longer on this, but also when would be the appropriate time. The other is to, as it was suggested before, to bring in the Providence Arts, Cultural and Tourism, who provides the framework of these celebrations, whether it's PVD, Pride, or other parades that are taking place in the city of Providence. So for our next meeting, I'd like to have them here and have them present to us. What does that look like in terms of cost, the partnership that can bring people together.
Mhm.
I know that many cities have the parades, and it is for us to put something out there that we're planning to do this parade for next year.
Mhm.
This is not, so that way we are able to help promote the event, but also let other veteran organizations and veterans in the city of Providence and beyond let them know that the city of Providence is gearing up to do a parade down here in the city of Providence.
Yeah.
Sounds good?
Yeah, and just for clarification, you just wanted ACT to be able to come for the next meeting to present and speak about what's necessary to put the parade together.
Yes.
Perfect, yeah.
I'm just thinking also would be beneficial to also have public safety. Is it Public Works? Who's the one that really is out there also partnering with, I think it's Public Works. They have all the trucks and all the.
Traffic.
Yeah,
Hmm.
traffic,
Traffic engineering.
engineering.
Yeah, Public Works.
Yeah.
But perhaps we can have them here too. That way we hear from, if we have any questions, and that also we don't have, have them separate, it's just having them together.
Yeah, I believe that that would be Nate Urso, who's
Yes.
on DPW, and I can reach out to Nate, and I can also reach out to Tricia, and we can have them come for the next meeting.
Excellent.
Sure.
Thank you.
We need anybody for public safety for the security perspective?
Yes.
Yeah, I can,
Lieutenant Potter, this is, yeah, District One.
Mhm.
If it's downtown, it would be Pat Potter,
okay,
who's a veteran. Actually, the major is currently still in, so
Okay.
he's a good man.
yeah, we can get, ACT, we can get DPW, and we can get, public safety, and I'll confirm that it's Lieutenant Potter, we can break that up. Absolutely,
So plan on having a little longer meeting, for next meeting than we have.
all right,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
And lastly, just a line of discussion of future topics and of the commission. We'll continue. Anything else you would like to bring up to the table? For discussion. And relative to our mission and objectives.
We still looking for a building in the city for office space, so we should put that kind of, get that rolling again.
Yeah,
Because I, one in mind, I'd like to do some research on it and could be federal funds that we could obtain because it's an historical building. Maybe we can shed some light on, if I can have a chat with Commissioner Al's after, and we can look at a piece of property or at least talk about it.
yeah. We've mentioned it before? Yes,
You still need your fifth member.
yes, we do.
So you need to-
We're still searching for that fifth member. Yeah, so we've had some discussion in terms of for future plans and goals to have some type of facility, an office. As you know, that requires budgets and maintenance and all that stuff, so it doesn't hurt to look and see and plan. I think the vision for this commission and for all of us is to provide some infrastructure of things that we're putting together. Overall, I'm optimistic that even with the changes at the federal level, knock on wood, that we as veterans can tap into resources that can support veterans no matter what. And so one of the discussions that we've had is to reach out to the federal delegation along to see how we can provide additional services, whether it's housing, whether it's, reaching out to and working with veteran services. And we have the director here, but also the VA regional hospital here. And so it's how do we partner with these entities and how we can really take a lead on that and be able to come up with an office or a facility that can really take as we say, a flag post and put it in the ground and say, we did it, and that, but that is also sustainable. So this is just not just a one-time, commission and although it says a special commission, and special commissions, they have a time that it ends, but it needs to be renewed every 4 years. And my goal is that we hope that people that replace us, that it continues and that we continue to be part of this commission and also these efforts. So I would say continue looking and perhaps
I recommend we have a list of the veterans that are in the city. Go from that list and just go, and we need with diversity on this group, so there's narrow that folks down. My recommendation is from that list, our women warriors, is ask them to engage them, see if they want to join this commission.
Mhm.
We start from there.
I'm not sure if you received an email that I sent you on January 28th. I was introducing you to a gentleman who reached out to me. He is the community liaison and veterans caseworker for Congressman Gabe Amo.
Yes,
Did you receive that email from me?
I believe so.
I can
I
resend
did.
it to you. His name is Fred McGlynn and he wants to
Interpret.
Yep.
Fred.
I know him
Okay.
very well as well.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, you know him as
Yeah,
well?
very well. Great America.
He said the purpose of this email is to gain a better understanding on how our offices and departments can work together, so that might be a resource.
Thank you. I did receive that, and since then, did meet him, because he's fairly new. He came in last year, I think, in Woonsocket.
Correct.
Oh,
That's
you
where we
have
met.
met him.
where-
Right, he's
the
met,
first,
right, right.
Oh,
And you met
okay.
at the cafe, correct?
At the cafe,
Yes,
he
sir.
was there too, so.
Yes, sir.
And also, the Congressman, Magaziner, they also have, and the director knows,
Correct.
correct there, so, it's trying to continue to have these, relationships. And, we can take advantage of the fact that, we're a small community also, but also, the opportunity, how do we leverage that and what segment can they help with? And, those are the approach that we can do. All right. Any other?
So with the list of residents that we do have. Maybe some thoughts into at some point making mailers, handouts, with, information, talking about the VA, talking about, different events that are going on with the city of Providence or, through the VA, maybe a partnership. And it's more of trying to provide outreach. So, and, I think that's a huge part of what we should do is outreach.
Yeah. Yeah, well, absolutely. And one of the things that I think that we also should strive for is to create a website under the city that highlights the commission and our work. And then to address the issue of marketing tools through outreach, is the issue of a budget. How do we engage people? At times, there are people out there that want to volunteer and be part of something meaningful. So something that we can see if we can establish a subcommittee of some sort that can help with the outreach. In the meantime, one of the requests to the director and other organizations is that if we can get their information, the list of organizations and their emails, so we can send them a communication, letting them know that we exist. And that they can also extend an invitation to us in terms of when they're having events. I've gotten a couple already. I know last year, a captain who was honored at the Columbus Parade, Captain Cianci, I believe. Yeah, Captain Cianci.
From the Army side,
From the Army side.
Yes.
He writes an article and he's very active. So I reached out to him and at a certain point is trying to make sure that we're connected as the capital city with the other veteran organizations and that they know that we exist. So if you have some of that information, feel free to send it to us and I'm gonna see if we can get an intern of some whether at Rhode Island College, URI, or any other college to help us out. That would be a good beginning for us. So that's one of the goals that I want to propose that I'm gonna be doing.
Mr. Chairman, if I may go back to that list.
Yeah.
We have the answers to the test already. Everybody that you would need to staff a subcommittee or any type of volunteer work will come from that list. Growing from within. There is so much value in this space by picking up the phone and asking one of those veterans, would you like to join the city and being part of a commission or a subcommittee to help our veterans across the city? That will, and I guarantee you that every position that you may need will be filled from the list that you already have. You don't have to go after anybody else, that list will come internal.
Excellent.
You can capture that list. That is the keys to the test.
Are you referring to the list of
There are veterans right now in the city that are getting some form of a property tax deduction. Albeit we acknowledge it's not the main number yet, but they're getting some form. That is your list to find your person, the fifth person on the squad, who should be a woman. Any subcommittee folks that you want to have will come from that list because they care more about this city because they live in the city. No carpetbagging, they live in the city. They have an invested interest to ensure that the veterans across this city have a voice.
I agree. Aaron, can we put that on the list to make sure?
Yeah. So, yeah, indeed. So we have that list, right off the top of my head. I'm not sure how many it was a couple of hundred. But it's something that
1,500.
but it's something that, with the help from some commissioners and the policy team staff, we can narrow it down and make some of these calls, like certainly, but we certainly have the list. We just have to game plan on how we like to approach it.
Can we put
just
something up
meeting.
that anybody who's watching this that would be interested? Is there a contact number, especially for the fifth board member, female?
Yeah,
Is there a way that they could contact this committee with a phone number, like, I'm interested, to,
yeah,
and we can start a list that way.
absolutely. They can call our office at city council. Let me get that number so that way,
And then.
unless Aaron knows it by heart.
I do not. I
Right.
usually have, I usually have one of my note cards that has it on there. But honestly, Councilman, if I may, I think that it would probably be pertinent to allow folks to email the city clerk's email. And they generally get things all to members and to the committee.
That's correct.
Angela, but you can,
Yeah, they can send it.
yeah.
What number, what phone number? If they
They can actually, it'd be easier instead of them
calling?
calling, yep, they can email. They can send it to my email, which is A Harris.
A Harris?
Yep, at Providence. All right, that's all.
So for those of the people that are listening to this or may see this, that are interested, especially female residents in the city of Providence that would like to join the commission, they could contact us via email at through our city clerk, Angela Harris, which is her email is aharris@providenceri.gov. All right, and the same goes for the commissioners. If you have somebody who come across, just give them her email and have them show some interest. All right. Thank you very much. Wonderful suggestions. Any further business?
Motion to
Any
adjourn.
discussion? There's a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Al, and also Vice Chair Joseph Ianucci. All those in favor?
I
Motion adjourned. Motion passed, meeting adjourned.